Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom or Kay from Millennial Mom, and today we're going to talk about Married at First Sight, Season 17, Episode 22, Doubts, Dilemma, and Drag. And you know what? They, meaning producers of Married at First Sight, should be asking us, the viewer, do we have doubts? Yes. Has this season been a dilemma? Yes. Has this season dragged along? Yes. So this was the appropriate title for this episode. Now, even though I feel like this episode was a filler, here we are again, and probably will be here through the reunion, which is in approximately 3 weeks from yesterday. So before I begin, if you are new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. Everyone, please don't forget to hit that like button, whether you're here joining live or on the replay. That would greatly help. And leave me your comments so I know what you thought about this episode, if you felt it was a filler or whatever. And, we can go back and forth in the comments so I can see what you thought. You can hear my point of view, and we're going to go from there. So thank you for joining. Thank you for your time. This episode, not going to be here long, probably be little less than an hour, because once again, this episode didn't live up to the billing from the previous week's episode. So let me see who's in the comments and we'll get started. And I'm going to drop that link as soon as I do the overview. All right. So we have Frappes and Tea. Hola. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, subscribe. And hello, Miss Sharon. Good evening. And Tamika, hey girl. Hey. Yes, ma'am. 3 weeks for the reunion. I read it was between the 10th and the 17th of April. So there it is for that. The official reunion, because in my opinion, these episodes have been the unofficial reunion already, because everyone has broken up except Micah and Chloe. Their decision day is next week. So we'll have to wait for the official. And then I heard after the official next week decision day, the following week isn't even going to be the reunion. Is going to be former cast members talking about where they are now. So again, another filler before we get to the wrap up of this season. And hello, Miss Cynthia, how are you today? Yes, episode's definitely a filler. So let me just do the overview for those of you who may be driving or can't watch your device. So about last night's episode. To make you say the reunion needs to be the week after decision day. It's supposed to be, but I read, again, it's going to be couples, former couples, participants on Married at First Sight. Where are they now? And go from there. So, okay. So on, Wednesday's episode, or if you streamed it this morning or this afternoon, on this episode, we have Michael and Chloe are 1 week away from decision day. They're still trying to figure out if they're on the same page to move forward when the time comes to stay married or get divorced. We have other participants. I don't know what else to call them besides participants. I mean, they're not married anymore. I mean, technically they're single, but they did participate on the show. They're going on with their day-to-day lives. We're getting a glimpse at how they're adjusting or not. And then later in the episodes, the men hang out per usual and the women hang out per usual to see how everybody's feeling. Well, not everybody. Technically, really Michael and Chloe to see, what they're leaning towards, yes or no for decision day. Again, to me, the episode was a filler. From last week's clips, it was a bummer, in my opinion, how production set this week up to be, because I really thought it would be more focused on Michael and Chloe, which technically it should have been, right? Not just this week, but the week prior, because we only have like bits and pieces of information. And the information that we do have, I mean, it seems like they're rocky, but do we really know Michael and Chloe the way we got to see all the other couples that were on the show? I don't think we have. So I think they kind of did Michael a disservice this season, because if they brought him back for a second chance, he said yes, and they extended this season to go along with that, we should have saw more of Michael and Chloe, their dynamic of their relationship, in my opinion. But on the after party, if you got a chance to see it, it was Brennan who answered some things that Cameron put out there. Cameron and Chloe, I guess, like I said, Brennan and Cameron on there for clarification, and Chloe again trying to see where her mind is. All right, so again, the last 10 minutes of this show I felt was the best, and I was really tripping off of Michael because what he said and then how they got into the detail of the show. All right, now I'm gonna drop the link, and then I'm gonna drop into the quick scenes first before we get into the episode, because really I think the episode was mainly quick scenes and then, you know, tidbits of Chloe and Michael, and then we had like the sister circle, like I like to call it, and then you had the guys hanging out. We really didn't hear a whole lot of anything we didn't already know time and time and time again. Am I right or am I wrong? What do y'all think? Have we heard this same old song and dance before? Did we get out the violin every time? Because what are we getting new here? We've learned this information for many weeks prior to where they are now. So Frappe and T said, in the words of Teddy Pendergrass, if we don't know Michael by now, we will never. Okay. That's the comment of the show. It might be the comment of the season. That was a good one. All right. So are you ready backstage? Okay, here we go. Hello, ma'am.
Hello. How are you?
I'm all right. So you thought it was a quick, filler scenes too? Because what did we learn different?
Nothing.
Not a thing, right?
Nothing. I'm glad about Lauren kind of standing her ground, finally.
Yeah. Well, Lauren's wishy-washy to me.
She is. Yeah. But hopefully she's like, thank you, but no, thank you.
I mean, until we get to the reunion, I don't care what she says. Just for me. She's gone back and forth times for me. And then, yes, I've seen some little things on IG from her and just, you know, the after party. But to me, and I have it written down as we go along, she opened that door to rekindle a possible friendship. So you can't come around this week and be like, girl, no, that's not what I want. And I'm like, no, ma'am,
right.
Don't like that. But yes, Sharon, cue the violin, the tiny violin at that. And yeah, Lauren said, thank you, next. I hope so. But like I said, I don't put a whole lot of faith in Lauren right now, just for me. Okay, so let's start off with, like I said, the quick scenes. We're going to go out of show order because I want to talk about Claire sitting in that car. Let's start with her first. Talk about she don't understand what's happening with the energy, why Cameron didn't answer her text with the birthday. You know, I wish him happy birthday by text and all these little things that Claire has finally had an epiphany about in the car. I was like, what is wrong with you, ma'am? You can't just now, this is just my opinion, watch the show, have this epiphany when, last week or 2 weeks, whenever it was at the, Decision Day get together, pizza party, all these things were coming out. Your name was brought up mostly. Cameron his heart can take it. He got off and walked away. He said you'd be texting him, which you was we saw you with the phone. We don't know if you was texting or not, but we saw that was your MO. And you're in the car in this episode wondering why. Sharon, bring up your violin again. Tamika, what you think about that?
That girl is delusional.
Okay.
Because she was like, I guess it's over. Girl, it's been over for weeks. Where have you been? Can the real Claire please stand up?
Exactly.
Because where you been, sis? Because this has been over for a few weeks, and now you finally saying it's over. I guess it's over. And from the after party, he was saying that his birthday was a couple days after he had another heart procedure that she didn't even call him about.
Right.
So I'm just like, girl, he ain't trying to talk to you. He trying to go on double dates with Brennan.
And it's just the fact of, like I said, when did she get this epiphany? You know what I'm saying? It couldn't have been at the Decision Day get together pizza party, because you had already broken up weeks before that. He was already not talking to you before the heart procedure.
Exactly. And this is the second one.
Right. He told us that in his car. Right. I'm like, what?
I think it's finally over. What?
All right. Front Face and T said the only therapy Claire should be given is to pets, not humans.
Don't even do that to the pets. Don't even make them. No.
So
She couldn't be. No.
I just couldn't believe that. I really couldn't. She had my mouth open like, you're kidding, right? So one thing I did see on IG that Lauren posted, it was on different boards. I don't know if y'all had a chance to see these boards or read them, because I know there's many, many different ones. But apparently people are calling Claire's job trying to get her fired. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right.
Yeah, no.
But, apparently she's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. So, well, people who have alternative thinking the wrong way. Because I never call someone's job over something on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not my business, But anyway, so yeah, I wanted to start with her. All right, and then we have Emily and Chloe hanging out. Emily says she's adjusting to single life. You've been adjusting to single life, but go ahead, tell your story, boo. Tell your story. Chloe is telling her about the 1 month anniversary, and she's full blown married now. So Emily's asking her, "So, are you falling in love?" And then Chloe said, "Well, I thought I was, but then Dr. Pierre came to visit, and she said that I wasn't being authentic. She said I was being inauthentic." And she goes, "You know what? That really hurt my heart, hurt my spirit." And so Emily was trying to say, when Dr. Pia comes to visit you, it's not for any reason. She wants to get to the bottom. She's trying to give you clarification, as if the roles was reversed. I'm like, when Dr. Pia visited you, all the times you said you didn't feel safe and all these different behind the scenes that we learned after the fact, the deleting of the diary cams, why didn't you mention this to any expert? That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
This episode is, like I said, the drag's dilemma and drama is correct, but it's like, where have you been? You know what I'm saying? Were they all literally in the Twilight Zone? And now they're
Clearly.
For me, I'm like, can't no one on this season give advice to anybody about nothing?
And let me say, I don't think nobody on this season was their authentic selves. Everybody had more fakeness in them than not.
Mm-hmm. Sharon said Chloe and Emily was odd. True. I see you backstage. Hold on a second. And then Frappe and T said, "What is the relationship with Emily and Lauren? Something seems off." Lauren or Chloe? Or you talk about the message boards today, Frappe and T? I don't know. All right, you ready backstage? Okay, here we go. It's Mr. Devontae himself.
Hey.
How y'all doing?
All right, how are you? Oh, you did mean Lauren. I don't know what Emily and Lauren's. I don't know if I saw anything with them. Did you guys see anything with Emily and Lauren being off?
I don't even follow none of them. They might about to pull my IG down. They foolishness.
I don't know. I ain't see nothing. She talking about on Instagram?
Do you mean on Instagram for FASNT or just in general? Because I'm
right. Sure. Or yeah, elaborate.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Cynthia says, yes, they were all figures and actors. And hello, Cheryl, how are you? So I don't know. I didn't see it. Lauren wasn't on the show long enough for me to even get a vibe of that. But I mean, the things I saw were just today because I don't follow anyone from this show on IG at all. Just to be all the way above. Fred Place and T said they are usually separated in scenes, and Emily never mentioned Lauren when she includes the girls in general. Oh, I never noticed that.
I never noticed it. Probably because I just don't even care anymore.
Frappes and tea. Yeah, frappes and tea. If you want to hit the link under Millennial Mom, if you want to keep your face muted, so we can hear how you saw that. If you want to, if not, leave it in the comments because I never noticed that, honestly. If you want to. So, anyways, all right. So Devontae, we were talking about the scene with Claire before I jumped into Chloe and Emily. What you thought about the scene with Claire in the car, wondering what happened now?
She a nut. I'm just trying to figure out what you talking about. I tried to wish him happy birthday. You should have just texted him and kept it going. What you trying to call him for? What we got to talk about?
That's what I'm saying.
But I feel like when it comes to her and Orion, I feel like they just want camera time because it just doesn't make any sense. Like,
I don't think it's camera time. I think it's like obligation. I think it's contractual.
I mean, yeah, but make something else up. Don't make it up like you tried to call him. You blocked. Show the phone ringing, because I guarantee as soon as you press Cameron, the number you dialed is not in service anymore.
We'll get to that. Okay, so what about the Emily and Chloe thing? And Emily telling Chloe, well, that's how Dr. Pia is giving the advice back. What do you think about that?
I feel like she gave her good advice. She just basically told her, just take it with a grain of salt. That's her job, to tell you stuff that you don't want to, what you don't want to hear.
That's true. All right. Well, Emily is FaceTiming her friend Jen. So apparently they have a work trip to Hawaii and Vietnam. But Emily said she's going to remain focused this time around and not
I thought they won a trip.
Yes, it's not a work trip.
Yeah, they won a trip.
They won it. Yeah.
To Hawaii and Vietnam?
I think they won it to Hawaii and then they're going to Vietnam.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, she said she wasn't going to sleep around this time. She's going to stay focused. I was like, okay.
I just want to know why y'all sleeping in one bed.
A twin bed at that. And then she said, oh, I reserved the king. But if you want a twin, we can do that. And I was like,
or if I need to leave a room while you go handle your business, I'm like, yeah, I'm not hyping my bestie up like that. That's just foul.
But clearly that's Emily's MO, how she's been. She did say before she got on the show that she was used to having the one night stand. So
can't turn to no housewife.
Front Facing D said, just my observation on the show. I see Claire, Becca, and Chloe are friendly with Lauren, but Emily gives off she interacts with Lauren because of production. Could be.
Now we all about to be looking.
Maybe she don't like black people. You shocked?
I heard she went off on Rudy Huxtable. So
who, Emily?
Mm-hmm.
That don't count.
Her and her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't give me vibes that they like black people.
I'm not gonna go out on a limb and say all that, but I just never noticed what frappes and tea.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look now.
Yeah, I'll have to pay attention. Okay,
I mean, maybe Brennan, maybe not Emily. Emily just probably don't like anybody else. Let's be honest.
We got a co-signer. All right, so let's move to Becca calling her mom on FaceTime. She's having a hard time adjusting back to single life. She just don't understand why men treat her this way and all this. But at the same time, she's saying, well, maybe she made a rash decision because, Austin's not usually like that. And, even though he went out with production, she's just all over the place. She did admit she was in a grieving process, which I get that part. But
grieving?
That's what she said.
You've been single since you got married. I don't get it.
How you grieve a marriage?
Maybe she was with him already. Maybe she's grieving that part, I don't know. That's what she said. I don't know what she said.
Ma'am, it was a month. Get over yourself.
Right.
It was a month. Girl, I'm not saying you couldn't have had strong feelings for him, but you boo-hoo, snot crying. I'm eating hot dogs and ice cream.
Oh my gosh.
Sit down.
Sharon says Becca's mom gave her good sound advice. I mean, yeah, it was
Nah,
good
she need to give her
advice.
some more advice. She need to find the Lord. Or find you an atheist. That's your problem. You never gonna find no man. You
Right.
never gonna find no man. Cause soon as you say he, most people are some part of religious a little bit. Soon as you say you don't believe in something, that's gonna automatically most men gonna be like,
I'm sure there's groups out there for people who believe it or don't in whatever they do or don't. So maybe, I don't know.
That's what she need to get on that app. Find that app.
Yeah, because
Right.
for someone who is not believing the same thing she doesn't believe, you're right. The minute they say something about not even what she say, Austin said, HE double hockey, you're going to HE double hockey sticks. Anything they say anything close to that, or upset or whatever, she's gonna do the same thing she did on the show, because she has a feeling about certain things that even though she don't believe, she has, like a PTSD or something from it. I don't know why she's so emotional. That's the word I was looking for about it. Because remember when Austin was talking about it, how emotional she was with Pastor Cal. If you don't believe in religion, why did it break you up like that so much? You know what I'm
Because
saying?
I think she's
she ain't
more
worked
like
through it.
agnostic, not more atheist. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, she kind of believes there's a higher power, but she just don't know it because she can't see it. So that's probably why she reacted the way she did.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think she just need to work through that with some therapy. So I think some people have. I think she's one of the people that like had a bad experience in church, and it's just it's carrying with her. You could tell
Yeah, it's
like
possible.
that. You keep saying that you ain't religious and all. It's not looking like it.
Yeah. Like I
Cause
said,
you
she was
calling on your therapist ain't working. You calling on your mom it ain't working. Sounds like you need to call on somebody else.
Need to call on the Lord.
Call on. You ain't gotta call on the Lord.
Yeah,
Just call on. Just
call
say
on
whoever
somebody,
up
Buddha,
there, something.
whoever.
Sharon said her mom told her, "Why are you crying?" And you and Austin really didn't have a lot in common. Right. I want to be back with her.
But
Right,
Nintendo 64.
I
The
mean,
man ain't wanna sleep with you.
right.
right.
No, no, no. He ain't think you was
Yeah,
attractive. And I don't know if it was attractive, like he didn't find her physically attractive, but something about her turned him all the way
True.
off. And it probably
all
was
the
the
way.
religious stuff. Probably was like,
Could.
oh, nah, I can't bring her home to my nana.
But she did say she hopes Austin finds a person one day that's going to love him, but it's not her. And I'm like, but you keep going back and forth.
And when he
Yeah,
find it, she gonna be
You
a somebody.
go
yeah,
ahead.
Somebody
she's
better
gonna be
catch
hurt.
her. Somebody better check on her. He
Mm,
post that picture. Oh my God, mental
right.
breakdown. And everybody get the hot dogs.
Right. Oh my gosh. Sharon said it didn't last long. Then she went to being unhappy with intimacy. Yeah. That's what, anyways. She has some things to work through. So, all right. So moving to Lauren. Now we're back to that. I know Tamika you talked about a little bit earlier, hanging out with her friends. She told a story about her and Orion. I thought we was gonna get a little bit more information than this because last week we saw the clip where we was hanging out till 2 a.m. just talking. I'm not saying they had to do anything else, like they didn't have to be shaking no sheets, nothing like that. But you was out with someone you claim you don't care for, that you're good with, you know who you are now till 2 a.m. But then you get upset or feel a type of way when you said he told you he wanted to talk to you or respond to your text and you got a thumbs up emoji. She was like, what is that about? Lauren, talk about needing some therapy if she's not already. And that's not being mean. Lauren needs to, I think, you know what? Speaking of grieving, what Becca said, I think
Yep,
Lauren, you mentioned it to me. I think she's still grieving. I just
yep.
don't, she can, she don't have all her eggs in one basket right now because
Yeah.
she's too flip-flop
Mm-hmm.
with Orion. Like I said, she opened the door last week to that friendship, right? At the get together 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, at the decision day pizza party. She's like, yeah, with that little shy, like, we could be friends.
Mm-hmm.
Met him for the
But
first time.
you just have to open the door,
He opened the door. You talked
and
to
she
2
slammed it in his face.
your and all this other stuff, and now it's like, I know who I am. I don't need that in my life. I'm like, this is why he don't know what to do. This is why he feels like the door is open. He keeps coming back to you, regardless of how much you fell on the floor and, felt bad about yourself. Lasted 5 days. She talked about, I went from married at first sight to divorce at first sight. Okay.
Yeah.
You and
Divorce at
everybody
first
else.
fight.
You and
Yeah.
everybody else. Don't feel bad.
Right. But
Right.
I'm just saying she flip-flops too much. How does she feel he's going to respond when she opened the door again? You know what I'm saying?
I think she opened it. She thought about it and was like, you know what? No. And then that's when she sent that text and was like, yeah, I thought about it and I'm okay. Thanks, but nah.
But this was after hanging out, archery,
Mm-hmm.
talking at 2 a.m. Whose house was they at, or were they out? It doesn't matter to me.
You know they wasn't at Orion's house. we know they ain't at that house. Remember,
With
she
that
a
Sanford and
racist.
Son truck.
Right, she a racist. She can't go over there. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
So we know she wasn't over there.
Cynthia says Lauren is.
Mm-hmm. And if he deems her as racist, why would he even want to be friends with her? I wouldn't. Why would I want to be friends with somebody that
Right.
has is
Excuse me.
is racist or call me the N-word or whatever the case may be?
Right.
I wouldn't want to be friends with y'all. I wouldn't even want to be in your presence.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, she's too flip-floppy to me.
Lauren
Oh,
need a friend
flip-floppy.
like me. Lauren need a friend like me. Give me the phone.
I'm
Look,
about to
bruh.
inbox her.
Right. Look, bruh. I don't like you no more, bruh. Don't hit me up no more. Maybe
Right.
next ish. You know what? Have a good day. Have a great life. Appreciate it. Shout out to the Indians over there on the reserve. Tell them I ain't got no beef. You feel me?
No,
But me and you could never be. We ain't gonna never be nothing, sir. Thank you. Don't call me no more. I don't want to hang out, play top golf with you. No.
Oh my gosh. I did pull something from the board. I didn't put it on here because it's kind of long. So she just goes on to say, she's responding to a comment, says, why is she still on the show? I hate her. She's silly and desperate. She goes, ugh, why do we have to see the losers every week? Lauren said, this is just the show. You don't know me for real. And, pretty much she was on here for contractual arrangements. But I'll read this part. She said, most of y'all don't know what woke means, but get mad at us for using therapy talk while simultaneously telling us to go to therapy. Been there 5 years. I just hope one day we all come together as a nation and use our noodles to understand that reality TV isn't really reality driven. She goes, y'all have a blessed day. Enjoy the show you're choosing to watch. Last note, leave Claire alone. Folks calling her job, trying to get her fired, sending her nasty messages, saying she was responsible for her brother's demise and mean stuff like that. We're real people. We're just really trying to live. I just be chilling, enjoying my privacy.
First of all, you went on a TV show. Miss me with that. You want privacy. You don't go on a TV show if you want privacy, man. That's
Exactly, because
just
you
like
ain't
when,
getting none.
right. That's just like when people post stuff on Facebook and be like, y'all weird for commenting. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? You put it on Facebook or Instagram and said, why y'all comment? If you don't want nobody to comment, don't
You
share.
don't post it. It's
Turn the
social media.
comments off. You ain't making no sense. You went on a TV show that's been on 1,000 seasons, ma'am.
Exactly.
Come on now. Now I don't agree with people calling somebody job, but it's some weirdos.
Mm-hmm.
Fame come with weird. You ain't even really famous. You really a Z-list celebrity. You ain't getting in no party.
Double Z's.
Don't worry. After this season, we ain't gonna know who you are, cause I ain't following none of y'all. So don't
None
worry
of
about it.
y'all.
You can go back to your norm in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
So Sharon, before I get your comment, Sharon. So Lauren says she's been in therapy for 5 years.
It ain't
But
working. Get a new therapist.
Just because you've been in therapy, that don't mean you talking about the right things. We can all go to therapy. You gotta open up and talk about the right things. There's
now
a
she
lot
got
of people that go there and waste people's time.
now she's got this to add to the list because this broke her down and didn't even know this man, right? But Sharon says she was an embarrassment to his community and he wanted a divorce so quickly. I don't get why you're sniffing around now. And Frappes and T said I was wondering the same thing about Claire, but didn't want to say it. So that was that. So let's move to the guys' quick scenes. We have Michael getting advice from Brennan, Austin, and Orion at different times, trying to see what made their marriages work or not. I think he's trying to get an overall view of, the reasons why they got divorced. So maybe he can implement that with Chloe. But let's jump into, before I jump into the guys' thoughts, let's go to Michael going out to look for a house with Chloe. But he was apprehensive of that at first, right? Because Chloe pretty much had to tell him, if we're going to remain married, we need to look for a place to stay. This is non-negotiable. I'm like, you have to tell somebody this? But I did hear this on my fam's YouTube. Shout out to Courtney Daddy. They brought up a point of he's got the cookies already. Remember, we've mentioned that before on different shows. Like when they get the cookies, and regardless of their trash or whatever, sometimes things tend to change.
Exactly. That's why you got to drive the car before you buy it.
So, well, they go out to look at these houses, and Chloe's like, ooh, I like this. And Michael's like, you like this? Like, she goes, yeah, I like the style, the vibe. You could tell he didn't want to be there.
But she a minimalist.
Right. So when they go out to the backyard, she's like, ooh, this would be nice for the dogs and my sanctuary, these kids. Michael don't want none of that.
No. As soon as she said that, he was like,
What kids she was talking about?
She wants to foster 5 teen at-risk kids.
Okay, how you foster 5 people in a 4-bedroom? You were looking at the wrong house.
They don't have to be the same time. The foster system, just by hearing on TV, don't work like that. Sometimes you get approval, sometimes you don't. And the reason why I say that for something that I know is because here on TV all the time, they're always looking for volunteers for advocates for children in foster care. And that's what they always say about, they don't have to live with you, You just need to be their voice. So maybe this is what Chloe wants to do. But when it came to the price, it was $4,800. I said for a rental.
For a rental?
Right. They was in the y'all need to go to the decent side of the go to the other side of the mountain, baby.
Frappes T said, I guess the cookies weren't edible. I guess not.
I wouldn't say that. I just feel like reality's starting to hit. Like after you had sex, I feel like he had like the clouds over your face. Now y'all done had sex. Now you like.
I think it's more than that, though. I just think that the personality, well, not the personalities, maybe the lifestyle doesn't mesh. Minimalist, maximist, he's into everything. He wants to move to a big city. Like I keep saying, he kept saying Boston. How are you going to have a sanctuary in Boston? I'm sure they have, different places you can go, just like in any city that's on the outskirts to have different things, right? But Michael doesn't give that lifestyle. Michael gives, I don't want no kids, travel, I got my job, and I fly by the seat of my pants. When I get up and go, I just get up and go. I don't have time for nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So he seemed like he's going to be sitting at, and this is not no shade, at the New York fashion show. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to town or wherever it goes. That's Michael. He don't want to be bothered with dogs, cats, horses, anything she could rescue, and definitely no kids. So
Chloe just need to be alone. I'm sorry, ma'am. You're doing too much. You want too much. Look at here. You want farms and kids and carriages. You want too much. Look at here.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
And why y'all talking about all that right now? Get to know each other. That is so far in the future. Y'all ain't gonna be fostering nobody in no year. You don't even know him for real.
Right.
You ain't even met his mama. These conversations. I'm not arguing about some stuff. We not even there yet. Let's get to me meeting your mama. Or you telling your mama you done got married a second time.
Right. Was that your Bernie Mac impression? The second time. Sharon said, I thought she didn't want kids. She just taking over.
Yeah, she wants older kids in the foster system. I knew she said that. Teenagers. She
specifically said teenage at risk, not teenage. So the ones that have, extra
The
issue.
one, the ones that's gonna rob her blind and steal a car.
Well, first of all, how you know Michael want to deal with all that? He probably was like, man, I don't mind adopt. Yeah, like that's probably what it is. He be like,
He said he did it.
man, I
He
got
said,
nice stuff. You in here trying to bring
Right.
all these
You're not about to take my
kids.
pearls and skirt.
Right. I don't know, man. I got my Range Rover. You already trying to like, well, nah. First of all, this married at first sight fault. Again, when somebody tell you something, why do you go give them the complete opposite? I'm a minimalist. You go get her a Michael.
right,
Why? Why would you
An
get a
overachiever.
minimalist somebody that pulled up in a Range Rover wearing Versace?
right. He said he didn't want kids. And if he does
Mm.
want kids, unfortunately, whether they're at risk or not, a lot of people aren't willing to take the older children because, the personalities are set. They may have, the issues may be a little bit more harder to handle versus a younger, you know what I'm saying? So that's just the reality of this. All right. Well, let's move to the guys on the show. So again, everyone's talking about what they're doing, what they're not doing. So Orion, he's a handyman. So he's over putting up a ring light at Brennan's. Is that what he's doing these days? He's a handyman.
Mm.
You gotta be with that.
Hey.
Honestly, I didn't know what he did. I just thought I don't know what he did.
But he
Well,
don't have no job, do he?
I didn't think he did,
Yeah,
but
there you go. He had to make some money somehow.
First of
Put
all, you
some gas
messed
in
up
that truck.
first. First of all, you start mounting on something where there wasn't nothing behind it, dummy.
I mean, hey,
You would drill a hole right through the barn, fool, or whatever it was.
it was just open.
First of all, you
Shit.
supposed to go in there and look, or at least use a drill bit to see if it's something there. So I
Right.
wouldn't want him to hang up my TV.
Right. It's gonna fall as soon as he leaves.
Sharon says, when did they become friends? Uh, After the decision day, when everybody
Right.
else got divorced too. That's when they became friends. So really, I don't think they had anything productive to say. They just went on to talk about the conversation with Lauren, and I was like, okay, y'all been broken up. But if you have y'all noticed that, okay, so Fried Base and Tea noticed that with the Lauren, but I've noticed that ever since decision day, the actual decision day, the pizza party, and these episodes, that Brennan has been the go-to. He's the go-to for the guys to talk about things. Orion,
Mhm.
Austin, Cameron. I said, when did Brennan become the
Right,
expert?
the one who
Right.
ain't never, the one who don't never get mad but been mad the whole season. All right,
Exactly.
we gonna go with the nut. We
Yeah.
all gonna listen to the nut. Everybody, each side listening to the nut. The
Yeah.
girls listening to Claire, they listening to Brandon. I was like,
He
who
always got that
gonna
one
help?
little vein popping out on the side of his head.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you notice he talks with like a cool cucumber, like a cool, like an even tone, as if like he's
Yeah.
always talked that way. I'm like,
Like you an expert, like we ain't on the same show. I ain't talking to
Right.
none of these. First of all, I ain't talking to nobody about no marriage. Their marriage just went down in flames.
exactly. So Michael talks to Austin, excuse me, Michael talks to Brennan about, the relationship and, Brennan's giving advice. And so Michael was saying, he didn't really know about the marriage thing, but he could do the dating thing. I said, Michael, this is married at first sight, and you did this for the second time.
You have
Mhm.
to enter
It's out
run.
the window. You could have started back dating after your bride didn't want to go through with it.
Yeah.
Is that
Michael need to stop talking to the ex-husbands club.
because
Man,
I'm like, what?
They
What?
just influenced him.
Well,
Yeah.
I think they just iced the cake. They didn't influence him. I
Mm.
think Chloe did that
Yeah.
by herself. But my thing is, why would he tell, regardless of who he told of the men, but why would he say he don't know about marriage, but he's be cool with dating? Was it with Chloe or was it someone else? But what Brennan said though, I was like, Brennan, this is the best thing you said since we've seen you on this TV. He said, well, why can't you continue to date her in your marriage? I'm like, boom, there it is. But that's not what
Right.
Michael wanted to hear though.
No.
So
I mean, I kind of get what he's saying. Like, if he's saying basically, it'll be easier if we were just dating to just say yes at this point, because you got to think Their process is half of their process. And look at them. So they got half the time and they got to make a faster decision. He didn't get the good 1 month anniversary. Like, he didn't get to do everything they got to do. So it's kind of like they just squished them together. It was like, all right, y'all live together for 4 weeks now. What y'all gonna do?
I cannot believe you just said that.
I mean, I just feel like it's rushed for them. I feel like, I mean, they can't drag the season on no more, obviously, but I feel like it's kind of sucks that why do they gotta rush their relationship?
I still can't believe you just said that, especially for Michael. Maybe not Chloe, but for Michael, because Michael knew this was his second time around, and they had to give him the details. He knew he didn't get married, in my opinion. He didn't get married the first time, right? So he knew that the couples were already, because the experts told him, already the process. So he knew his window would be a little bit shorter, but still, you want to try the process, regardless if it's 10 weeks or 4 weeks, you still wanted to be married.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't just be like, oh, I don't know about dating, because you didn't have to accept it the second time around when it didn't work out for you. That's just my opinion. I appreciate yours, but I'm just like, no, because he knew the premise of the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't have to agree. I'm just saying. But Frappes and Tea says that's the way how I see it too, Devontae. Okay. How do you see it, Tamika? Just curious.
Yeah, I see it the way he see it too.
All right.
I mean, they just like, bro, they rush me. Like, I mean, like, you gotta think. We just got off our little honeymoon or whatever it was, the little vacation. Then we had sex, and now we already looking at houses to rent. Like, that's a lot. It's fast.
Yeah.
And she talk about adopting everybody and having a farm. That's a lot.
Sharon says Michael's not stepping up into his role as a leader and as a husband. So, okay. All right. Well, let's get to the sister circle. Because nothing else to me besides Austin and Brennan talking and the guys coming together and talking before they come together again. I'm like, what were they making? Bottle caps? I'm like, this is content? Why are we watching them make bottle caps? But anyways, when the sister circle comes together and they again talk about the same thing they talked about in the beginning, Emily going to Vietnam. She says she's happy being single and move on. Lauren says she found herself. She's happier than she's ever been. I'm like, are you really?
She not.
Because that's not what it's giving.
She not.
And then Becca said, right. Becca's saying, I don't want to cry. That quiver in her voice. And I'm like, Becca, just get it out. But she also says that she's happy and moved on.
She's not.
And I'm like, why are they lying to
How
Chloe?
you moving on if you about to cry?
Right. Why you got to lie to kick it?
Correct. I didn't hear what's her name? Claire say anything, or did Claire say something? Or was she just sitting there looking?
She probably had that look on her face like, let me take it all in. Let me take my internal notes so I can use it against y'all in the future.
Mm-hmm. So, they're asking Chloe how she feels. And she said unequivocally, again, that she's not going to down herself or take away from herself to give to somebody else. They either want to be with her or they don't. Right? So I'm like, good. I'm glad you feel that way. That's the way it should be. Now, I said it when I saw the clip weeks ago. I said, was it me or did Becca have a smirk on her face? Was like, so what are you going to do if he says no on decision day?
Like, blame y'all and run fast from y'all because y'all is messy and y'all caused this. Because I'm like, why you hanging out with this girl that called your vows vanilla? But I digress.
I don't think she knows that part yet. But that's true. I was like, instead of asking her that, I mean, true was a valid question, but at least try to give her some type of encouragement. You know what I'm saying? Keep her encouraged, everything else. You can see Chloe was on the edge anyways, right? Before the question was even asked because how she's feeling with Michael, but they still could have gave her a little bit more encouragement to help her out her mind frame. Frappes and T said Claire orchestrated their responses. I honestly don't think I heard Claire say a word unless they edited Claire. You know what I'm saying? But you're right. I think she probably, she knows how to text by, without
Right.
looking. This is gonna be later and blah 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 blah. So, anyways, now when the men get together, I mean, what were they really talking about besides being happy that their relationship?
Nothing.
Austin kind of got me a little bit when he said that, he wished things were different with Becca. And I'm like, is he having second thoughts too, like Becca? Did they text exchange? Like, what was going on with that? What y'all think?
I think he still want her.
You
And I
think so?
think she still want him, but she got to save face because he went out with the producer.
Uh-huh.
Allegedly, I don't think he went out with her. I think that they were just all in the same area and they was all hanging out and she just happened to be there. And
Mhm.
then the girls and hyped her up and said, "Oh, he here with such and such." And so pulled the trigger too quick, ended it, and now she's regretting it because as we see next week when she's like, "Oh, I see him," and
Yeah, but he still hasn't been intimate with her. He still made those excuses. And that's on the top of Becca's list, right? Intimacy. So if you're not getting that with somebody and you're married and it feels forced and rushed, you feel like he's different off camera. And what's the word? The optics and like this and like
Or
Mhm.
maybe Becca is really a negative person.
okay.
Yeah,
Like maybe that's what it is. Maybe it ain't got nothing to do with Austin. She's just negative all the time. Cause you gotta think, you gotta argue with this girl about religion. So
Uh-huh.
imagine what she think about other things. Like she probably just be saying a bunch of wild things. Like in my humble opinion, blah 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 blah. It was just like
mhm,
I don't know. She probably the one that just turned people off. Like,
I think maybe the way that she came in Austin at the pizza party might be the way that she talks to him when she's not, getting intimacy because she's frustrated. She's sexually
yeah,
frustrated and no telling what else is happening there. And she went on to say, remember, that he's vaping, he's been lying to her since week 2 or day 2. I'm like, so you want to be with him because what? What do they really have
exactly.
in Austin? And excuse me, in common. Sharon says, why? Austin is childish and Becca is needy. I agree. So now, after all that, we see Chloe resting real comfortable in the bed with you see one dog, and then when the covers came up, it was the cat and another dog and something else in the bed. So they were all sleeping together. But why did Michael wake her up? I'm like, oh, I didn't know you were like sleeping like that. He goes, I really don't want to get into like too much of a conversation. Right now, we could talk about it later. And then he got into heavy conversation. I'm like,
Exactly.
can she go back to, you can wait till the morning to talk about this. You had to wake her about her sleep. You see, she was knocked out. Told her you didn't want to make it heavy, but then you got into heavy.
Yeah, yeah. Because he was with the ex-husbands club.
That's what happened, right? So then he goes on to talk about he wasn't sure if he could move forward in the marriage and all this and that. I'm like, now she can't go back to sleep, I'm sure, because that would have made me mad, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Excuse me. And I
like she
just thought,
overthinking now. Dang, you want to break up? What did I do?
Right.
exactly. Exactly. I was just like, why does he feel like this is necessary? Yes, the ex-husband's club, but still, I don't want to wake you up with nothing heavy. And tells her this, and now her face is droopy. She don't feel good now. She already didn't feel good with the sister circle, right? And now she had to
Mhm.
do this. So I'm like, so next week are we going to see him walk out with his bags like Austin did? Because what's the point of staying there if you're going to tell her this?
Well,
What's the
she
point?
told him, "Don't make no decisions until decision day." Since his decision is already made.
Right, because that's next week. I'm saying, is he going to walk out like that first, or
No, I think he gonna hold on, and then she gonna say yes, and he gonna be like, "Nope."
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion.
what you think, Devontae? You think they're going to stay
I
married?
think it's an. I think it's another woman orchestrating, telling the man what to do. behind the scenes, like the rest of she fitting right on in with the rest of the miserable Nancy's. Everybody miserable. Let's join Claire so we can all get therapy together.
Right.
Wow.
Like I said, I told y'all they should never. The couple should only go be at the little Hawaii when they on the vacation. Then after that, they all need to go back to their separate lives, to their friends who they really gonna talk to, not people who going through miserable things. And it's like, even if I'm upset, I wouldn't encourage my friend to do bad things because my stuff didn't go right.
Yep.
And that's not right.
Right.
They're
Yep.
not
I
helping
agree.
each other. They're helping each other get
In the
divorced.
marriage. Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Like, none of y'all saying good things. Like, I would be like, look, I ain't gonna lie to you, cuz you see what's going on with me and her. You need to call Dr. Pepper or Pastor Cat. I can't help you personally. You know, that's messed up what he said to you. But you should lean on the experts because you don't want to listen to me. Look at me and her.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I understand he wanted to get that off his chest, but I just don't think waking her
Where
up
is your friends?
to tell her that. Yeah.
Yeah, don't wake up to me no bad news. Please don't wake me up.
Right.
I just want to let you know I don't know if I can do this, but you go back to sleep. What?
Right. Well, unfortunately, I've seen the spoilers, so I'm not going to give my
I've seen it too.
true thoughts.
Let me guess. They broke up.
That's not true. And when I first saw the couple and the way they interacted, my very first thought was a no. So we'll see how it plays out on TV. Because
y'all can inbox me. I'm ready to get this over with. I don't even care.
Okay, I'll just say it like this.
Me.
I'll say it like this. It was a split decision, and we won't say who was what and who was not. Split decision.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not shocked.
So I was with the split decision. I was.
Oh.
Got it? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So real quick, because I actually, just something off the cuff. I was gonna cancel this after party because I actually have a emergent scheduled procedure literally in 2 hours that my doctor oncologist wants to do. Make sure I'm still stable. So
right.
this first and I'm out the door. So anyways, real quick for the after party. Brennan, Cameron, and Chloe. So Brennan pretty much co-signed what Cameron was saying. I believe Cameron 100%. Chloe is coming across very sad on the after party. She's like, well, we don't know what's going to happen. But you could just kind of tell by her demeanor, it wasn't necessarily positive. Did y'all get a chance to watch it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I watched
it.
So, but I'm waiting for Emily because Emily's after party is next week. Thank you, Sharon. It's just a routine.
You're going to have to let us know how it went.
Yeah.
You ain't going to give us this and then leave. You acting like a boy.
It's going to be about, no, I'm not. It's going to be about 2 hours, but I do it like every 3 to 4 months. So it's routine for me.
Okay.
So just make sure everything's stable.
I'll feel better now.
Real quick. Next week is going to be decision day for Chloe and Michael. It looks like Dr. Pepper is surprised at the results, like she was the first time when all the couples said no. So I don't know why she's surprised, but that's what it is. But real quick, Emily on IG today, because Emily and Lauren were on IG in different posts. So I pulled this from. It said, here's the little picture. It says, it's funny how, in quotations, they allowed Cam and Brennan to come to the after party after they refused to come to do damage control. And then, she said, and then in caps, not give Claire a chance to come back and say her side of the story. Once again, I'm even more disgusted. I said, okay, Emily.
They need to have Claire and the reunion gonna be good then. Because I can't wait. That's gonna be the best part about the season.
But the reunion is gonna be between the 10th and the 17th. I mean, we still got time. It's gonna be filler episodes until then.
I hope this reunion good because all the reunions we was looking forward to was just Love is Blind. Everybody just was like,
I know.
and did
That's why I
nothing.
didn't do it. Yeah,
Nothing.
it was nothing. So, but Emily says she's disgusted because Claire hasn't been invited back to the after party to give her side of the story.
Mm.
And next week is the final, or is it? Or did we already see the final after party? I don't know. This may have been the last one, so we may not see no more. So that's what Emily said. She's disgusted. But what does Claire have to say? She said it all in car camp. Her energy
Right.
is over. So that's what that is with her. I'm over
Mhm.
Claire anyway. So all right. Well,
Well,
next
next
week.
season, they need to make sure they look. People need to have one pet minimum, so we ain't got to worry about finding no 17-bedroom because you got cows and everything else. One pet. How many cats you got?
Right. And if you're
Right.
allergic to cats, remember Virginia and Eric, are you allergic to them cats?
Right.
So, anyways, all right. Well, hopefully next week will only be an hour. There's no reason for it to be a 2-hour show for
No
one
reason.
decision day. None whatsoever. So we'll find out about it. And yes, I will let y'all know how I'm doing after the fact. So
All right.
Okay.
thank you for joining, everybody. I appreciate it. And before I go, not on the spot, sir, are you watching the new 90 Day?
Yes, I finally caught up. I couldn't join y'all because I wasn't nowhere near knowing what was happening. I watched like the little pillow talk part, and I was like, okay, was it only an hour? And then I found the real recording. I was like, oh, okay, I missed a lot. So now I caught up. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, pillow talk is just little clips.
Little, yeah.
I see.
But some people on Pillow Talk are funny to me. But I'll be back Tuesday for Happily Ever After. So if you can join, fine. If not, catch the replay. I really appreciate your time.
Mhm.
So thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.